Well, they start like pushing each other,
faces, doing all this. Sorry,
yeah.
I was going for it, getting the mood.
He's so angry.
It did split people. You have Reigns fans, identifiable Reigns fans that hated Cena and had always hated Cena.
What fans?
It does happen.
No,
you have identifiable Reigns fans.
What a cracking match! Like one of the best I've seen for a while from these pay-per-views, actually.
Yeah. 25. Just Hulk Hogan. You know what I mean?
Who?
Just Hulk Hogan.
Who?
Yeah. You don't know.
Was he in the NWO or something?
Yeah, something like that. Hello.
And welcome to the Gimme a Whole Year podcast.
I'm Dom.
And I'm Ant.
And we're...
Say what you want to say.
I was going to say we have piping hot cups of coffee and tea.
We do have piping hot cups of coffee and tea.
If you want to come round for a brewski at any point, just drop us a message. Come be part of the podcast.
Absolutely.
We'd welcome you to our abode, which is actually his house. But
thanks for inviting people to my house.
Yeah, random people. We're very welcoming. We'll talk about wrestling. There's actually a couple of wrestlers that are interested. Shout out to Dom Black, who wrestles all over the country. He wants to come on board the podcast.
Nice, man.
Hi, Dom. A couple of other people want to come and get involved.
Nathan Cruz has liked the page, who's part of NGW.
So you see, we'll potentially have some guest spots on here in the future, maybe one time.
Fingers crossed.
Talk about wrestling history with us.
What are we talking about, Dom? Royal Rumble.
I don't know why I stayed blank there. I know exactly what we're talking about. I think it's just. I think I've not had enough caffeine. It's like midnight right now. It's midnight on Sunday, so we're doing this for the love, man. We're doing this for the love of you. Point. Am I allowed to point?
You can point as much as you want.
Pointing at you guys right here. Actually, it's just a camera, but I'm envisioning you watching us right now, which could actually be kind of weird if you think about it, but I'm envisioning you watching us do our thing.
Royal Rumble together. 1990.
Let's do it. Let's
Orlando, Florida.
The 90s, the future.
Florida.
To the future.
Yeah.
Orlando, future. Orlando,
we're
future.
in the 90s, man. We made it to the 90s. Woo! Can't wait for 97. Orlando Arena. So Tony Schiavone again is doing the commentating. We saw him 2 pay-per-views ago at SummerSlam.
Yep, not a fan, but
no. Jesse Ventura though was as great as ever, Jesse Ventura looked absolutely hilarious tonight. He had a white Mickey Mouse t-shirt, Mickey Mouse ears, and in this segment from the start, he actually gives Tony Schiavone a Goofy hat to wear, which I thought was brilliant and quite ironic, really, because obviously Disney ended up sponsoring WCW.
Yes.
And so that infamous scene where Hulk Hogan first went to WCW was all filmed at MGM Studios and stuff like that. So
very odd.
Quite ironic that they're using Disney.
Isn't it ironic?
I wonder if they had to pay for that, or
they probably did.
No, it might have been just an agreement. Like, oh yeah, that's fine. Well, I can't see why they would have paid for it, just to have a Mickey Mouse reference at the beginning of the show. Anyway, and then Jesse Ventura says that not even Mickey and Goofy can get tickets for this event. So, good work by them. He looked great. He looked great. Funny, yeah. We get to see a rundown of all the participants from the Rumble at the start of the event. The first match is the Fabulous Rougeaus with Jimmy Hart.
Well, you love this combo. You love this combo of people. You got the Rougeaus, you got the Bushwhackers.
Versus the Bushwhackers, yeah. I've still got lemon on my forehead from the last podcast. I hope you enjoy that.
It's worth it.
It's worth it, man. Good. Jacques had a new look about him, actually. He didn't look the same. He had a beard in this match, and he looked a lot paler. So the Rougeaus didn't look identical, which was quite interesting.
Yes, nice.
Starting to separate a little bit, these two, because obviously one goes into more commentating and announcing, and one becomes the Mountie. So starting the match, Butch starts biting everyone, including the referee.
Yep.
Pretty sure he shouldn't have been doing that, and pretty sure that should have been a disqualification, and then we wouldn't have had to have watched the rest of the match.
But it was the 90s. The 90s recently departing from the 80s, where that stuff, if you're a face, is okay.
It's okay if you're a face. We see Jack avoiding a battering ram. And more biting continues.
I love that. We should do
All right, I was watching
that. That would be our tag team finisher, man.
What, a battering ram? Who'd be the head under the armpit?
I'd be the head under the armpit.
Would you be the head under the armpit? Okay. I was watching it. We'll get to it in the match. I'll tell you then. Yeah, there wasn't any actual wrestling in this match whatsoever, really.
Just a lot.
Felt like a brawl.
Yeah.
No
a lot of silliness.
spectacle.
Yeah, a lot of silliness.
Just biting, kicks, punches. There's a double team move where Luke ended up getting choked on the ropes. Yeah. That looked okay. Jesse says the Rougeaus have got the match into wrestling, and that was at the point when we saw a couple of rest holds. Mm-hmm. Yeah, crap match really. Yeah. Jimmy Hart holds the Bushwhackers back from doing a battering ram, and they end up holding Jimmy Hart to do a double team. But the Rougeaus saved him, so we didn't even get to see Jimmy Hart take a bump.
Yep.
And then the Bushwhackers finally get the battering ram at the end of the match and get the pin. The battering ram was shown in slow motion. Mm-hmm. He had his head under his arm. He didn't hit him with his head. He just hit him with his body.
Yeah.
I didn't like it, man.
That was mainly what happened. Like,
yeah, that is what happened.
You're not gonna get any real force with the head. It's mainly a silly finish.
I don't think it looked very good, and yeah,
it was silly. It was meant to be silly.
And I suppose it's a positive way to start the show. But actually, in terms of wrestling content and going back and watching and enjoying wrestling, I thought it was a bit naff. I thought a lot of this pay-per-view suffered for me because it was a lot of brawling, and I'll talk about it more in future matches, but this match didn't have much wrestling spectacle. The Royal Rumble itself, it's difficult to have spectacle. It can have stories, but a lot of the time it is people in the corner punching, kicking, and laying up against the ropes. If you're having a Royal Rumble, have matches before it that have a bit of spectacle to them. This didn't have it, and a lot of these matches didn't have it.
Nope.
Including one really good match, but again, it wasn't really spectacle. It was just clever storytelling. Then we had an interview with DiBiase and Virgil. They bring up DiBiase getting number 30. Last year he got number 30.
Whoa,
yeah, that's what they're bringing up.
Oh, yeah.
But Jack Tunney this year has increased security, meaning that DiBiase has drawn number 1. Nice little story. Nice little story. Enjoy stuff like that. And because of the increased security, he can't buy his way into it. The Genius reads a poem. Yeah. Next, the Genius versus Brutus the Barber Beefcake. So we actually get to see Genius in the ring here. The Genius starts off the match teasing a handshake, then refuses to fight. He carries on and refuses to fight.
Super heel, super annoying.
Yeah, super annoying, super boring. Does a few cartwheels outside the ring. I don't really know why. Barber was mocking the Genius to carry on, but it just didn't do out for me.
Yep,
an atomic drop from Brutus started the wrestling, but Genius ended up running scared again. So really slow start to the match, man.
Yeah.
It didn't have any build-up for me, so it just got boring. It just annoyed me. I understand that the Barber and Perfect were feuding at the time, and that's where the Genius had come into it, because Genius had occasionally tag team with Perfect. But still, really slow. When it did start going, it was more of a brawl again. It was more punches and kicks and nothing really spectacular wrestling-wise. Yeah. The crowd were anticipating a sleeper hold on the Genius. Obviously, the Genius had quite long hair at this point.
Yes.
And Barber's sleeper hold, he'd put people to sleep and then cut the hair.
It was actually all right.
It's a clever. It's a good way of storytelling in terms of. I'm not a massive fan of sleepers.
And I wasn't a massive fan of Brutus, but
Earl Ebner was the ref. Took quite a nasty bump on the ring ropes when the Genius is thrown onto him.
Poor Earl Hebner.
So Barber then puts the Genius to sleep and gets out his shears, starts cutting off his hair flying everywhere. Again, it just didn't really have any effect. It was just a bit bland.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, it's a gimmick, and it makes kids will have liked it. There's a lot of people that would have liked that kind of thing.
I don't mind it when it's someone like Honky Tonk Man, and he's got like a whole thing of protecting his hair and stuff like that.
I think we're now classed as wrestling critics. I think that can now be a thing. Yeah. So as wrestling critics, it didn't sit well with our palate.
All right, then.
Do you feel?
No, my palate was not.
It was not wet.
It wasn't wet for this match.
Wasn't wet for this match.
So after he's cut off a bit of his hair, and he managed to cut it off quicker than we've seen in the past, Mr. Perfect comes in and attacks Brutus, which included a perfect plex. A bit weird to see him run in and do a perfect plex, because a perfect plex went straight into a pin, but obviously there was no need for the pin in this situation. And then he started attacking Genius with a chair as well. Yeah. Didn't do no. The match ended in a double disqualification. I'm not entirely sure why. Shane O'Mac came to the ring to save the day, to split them all up.
Yeah, kind of odd.
Yeah.
Just really odd.
Yeah.
Really odd finish.
Yeah, just rubbish, really, wasn't it? Interview with the Heenan family, Rick Rude and Andre the Giant and Haku. Andre is currently tag team champion with Haku, and they're all appearing in the Rumble later on. Next up, we have a submissions match from rugged Ronnie Garvin versus Greg the Hammer Valentine with Jimmy Hart.
This was
a goddamn stellar match, actually. It was a damn good match. So, obviously, we've had this feud building up for a while in the pay-per-views. If you don't know, Greg the Hammer always used to wear, what are they called, shin pads or something? Like footballers wear them, don't they?
Yeah, shin guards.
Shin guards, yeah, something like that. Greg the Hammer always used to wear one of them on the front of one of his ankles. The idea was that when he locked in the figure of four leg lock, which was his finisher, he'd turn it around to get more leverage onto the legs. In this match, Ronnie Garvin comes out with an identical shin guard. And there was a lot of play with this during the match. It was a really nice story, actually.
They worked this feud very well.
Yeah. So from a physical point of view, again, it was quite brawly, but the chops were some of the best chops we've seen since watching the pay-per-views from 1985. Really thunderous chops on the chest. Really great work. And the ring action was really good. Garvin did a great job of being dazed at times. To the point where it looked like a boxing match. And that was great. A headbutt from Greg, because Greg always had a hard head, took both men down. Again, really selling the feud together.
Good.
Great.
Very good.
This was my only real problem with the match. Both seem to forget that pinfalls don't count. All the time. Come on, you know.
There's a weird roll-up point, and it was really strange.
Well, I get it, early on in the match, it's to say to the audience, there's going to be no pinfalls, it's going to be a submission. But the pinfalls carried on, all the way through the match at times, which was frustrating.
Yeah.
But I thought that the match was good enough to get away from that frustration, really.
Yeah, it's odd, because this was one of my favourites of the whole, and it's weird to put Ronnie Garvin in that bracket, but
Absolutely.
he was one of the better performers at this pay-per-view.
And not just that, we've got a submission match, which is brilliant, and I'm not a massive fan of the submission match most of the time. I think there's been some good ones, but this was a bloody good submissions match.
Yeah.
When Hammer gets his figure of four leg locked in, Garvin is sat there and starts mocking him, starts laughing at him, and the commentators point out that because he's got the same knee pad, the damage can't be applied to him. Great, man. What a story. Even more chops at this point. Sound amazing.
Yeah.
Who gives the best chops in the WWE these days?
No.
There's a question for you.
Charlotte.
Charlotte does do some good chops, man. Good
Which
shout.
you would expect, I guess, but
yeah.
The women's performers do some. I mean, obviously the best kind of. Asuka's really good at chopping and
well, the one I was thinking of was Rude. Bobby Roode.
Oh, yeah.
Some great chops. But no, I think you're right with Charlotte.
He's very classic, though. He's very, you got Charlotte, who's obviously going to be a performer influenced by a family. Roode is a very classic performer.
He is, yeah.
He builds on the same, he's an 80s style wrestler, I think. Early 90s. He's the new
Ric Flair. Yeah. And that's great, because why not? Ric Flair was amazing, and Bobby Roode is amazing. I think to be honest, I'm kind of bored of him right now. My problem with Bobby Roode.
But I didn't really like Flair either in terms of.
Oh really?
You know,
I like Flair.
I didn't like Flair. Like he was. It didn't excite me. I was a big fan as a cruiserweights and the high flyers. Loved all that.
I think my only problem I have with Roode is that I think sometimes, and I think I might have mentioned this before, I think he sometimes puts over the other guy too much to the point where he looks weak.
It'd be interesting to see what happens with his feud with Ziggler right now. But because both of them are really good at putting other people over.
Yeah. Although this is released in 2 weeks' time, and everyone will probably know how that ended.
That's true. Yes. That's true.
So yeah,
but no, it might still be a feud. May still be a feud.
Or Ziggler may no longer be with the company.
That's true. Where do you think he's going to go? TNA. Lucha Underground.
Ring of Honor.
Lucha Underground.
Ring of Honor. I think he'd do all right.
Yeah.
It'd be good. I think Ziggler would have a better career if he went away for 3 years and then came back, or went down to NXT and just helped a couple of guys there or something like that.
Man, that'd be disastrous.
No, I think it'd be great. I think it could give him a chance to refine a character, because his gimmicks at the minute have been rubbish.
Well, there's the fact that he has no get. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's the problem. But I think sending him down to NXT, help a couple of them guys, get some of them guys to have great matches, because Ziggler can put on a great match. Yeah. I'm not saying he can't. What I'm saying is he feels like he's trapped in nowhere.
Mm-hmm. All right, cool.
Yeah, sorry. So back to the outstanding match from Ronnie Garvin and Greg the Hammer Valentine. Garvin gets Hammer into an Indian deathlock. So he keeps standing up.
That was nice.
It was nice, yeah. And then dropping himself back. Looked great. And the shin guard couldn't protect Greg the Hammer from that lock. So it was a good move. And again, when he was standing up and dropping back, he was taking some serious bumps, but it worked. It looked great. Ronnie Garvin tries to get the pile driver for the second time, this time outside the ring, but again, it's reversed by Greg the Hammer. Jimmy Hart takes off Ronnie Garvin's shin guard, so he's by the side of the rope. Jimmy Hart gets involved and takes it off, leaving Garvin to lock in the figure of four, leaving Hammer to to get the figure of four, which then hurts Garvin. So you've now got the shin guard off, so that's great. Garvin actually reversed that figure of four, which again, great, and that's what's great about a figure of four. It can be. They really played some wonderful story.
It's fantastic. The figure of four itself isn't really that complicated, or it doesn't look that damaging. But when always that moment where people are trying to turn it round, you're willing someone to turn it round.
Absolutely, And then Garvin takes off Hammer's shin pad. So again, we've got this story there where Hammer's got the advantage. Now he's levelled the playing field again. Yeah. Jimmy Hart even tried to put the shin guard back on at one point as he was near the ropes, but Garvin catches it and ends up hitting Hart with it. Great story from the manager there as well. Really great nice manager interference. Really nice.
I'm not usually a big fan of Hart's involvement in stuff, but that was all right.
And then Garvin gets Hammer in the figure of four leg lock eventually and gets a win. What a cracking match! Mm-hmm. Like one of the best I've seen for a while from these pay-per-views. Actually,
nice.
I think it was Warrior and Rhodes match that I last enjoyed as much as this from SummerSlam '89.
Nice,
but really good match. Excellent storytelling on all three men that were in that ring. All nice three of them. Brilliant.
Probably my favourite match of the night.
Yep. Perfect talks about why he attacks Brutus and talks about picking the perfect number for the Rumble as well. So Mr. Perfect reveals at this point that he's coming in at number 30. I'm not a fan of wrestlers revealing, but I accept that that's what it was back then, and that's okay. We then have Brother Love in the ring. And he's going to win. I didn't mind this segment, actually. It's quite funny. So he introduced the definition of a lady, and Beauty is his next guest, and then brings out sensational Sherry.
I mean, I properly love Sherry. But
Sherry is great, yeah. She was a lady indeed. I respect the fact that the makeup was good. I thought she was hot. Yeah. They started talking about a woman with no class, no finesse, no beauty, semicolon, ugly, and overweight. Who is this nasty person that they're bringing out? You so slapped that tea. No, I haven't done that. I haven't done that wrong with it. I have.
Well, you put lemon on your forehead.
I once made him a cup of coffee with gravy granules.
Yeah, but I managed to.
He guilted me into.
I mean, you lemonade your forehead because I like to lick his forehead because we're like the bushwhackers of.
We are not like the bushwhacker. You are like the bushwhacker.
I'm a bushwhacker. I like to whack the bush. But yeah, no, sensational Sherry.
So the overweight woman, ugly, semicolon. They introduced the manager of Dusty Rhodes, and this is the first time we've seen her in pay-per-view. Sapphire.
Yeah.
Sapphire was hot.
Yeah, it is the first. Yeah, is it the? Wait, no. Is it the first time?
For Sapphire, it is. Yeah.
I thought she was.
I don't think she's coming with Dusty.
I thought she was there. I thought she was there for Survivor Series, man.
No, maybe. No, I don't think she was.
I think. Wait a minute.
I don't think she was.
Wait a minute.
Are you going to check me out? Go on, you check me out while I read the segment. So, Sensational Sherry obviously continues to insult Sapphire as she's in the ring. Sapphire says nothing whatsoever, and Brother Love continues to insult her.
Sapphire she makes her debut at Survivor Series.
You've proved me wrong. I'm wrong.
It's all right.
We need to check our facts.
We didn't pick it up. Neither of us did. So
fine, cool.
So I just didn't want to, for the smarks.
Yeah, like we are. So Sapphire says nothing as Brother Love and Sherry are insulting her. Jesse Ventura as well did a great job of insulting Sapphire as well over commentary. Really funny.
I find it that funny, but that's because I liked Sapphire. She was lovely.
Oh, I did, but I find it funny when I find the whole segment funny. And then Sapphire slapped Sherry.
Anything with Brother Loving, man.
It did feel it felt
at this
slow.
point, I just want to knock him out. He's so annoying and red.
He is annoying and red, I will agree. So Sapphire slaps Sherry.
Annoying and red.
Did you sing Lady in Red,
yeah.
but annoying and red?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So Sapphire slaps Sherry. Macho King comes out. Starts holding Sapphire by the throat. We've heard of Macho King being abusive to women. What's going to happen next? Well, Dusty comes out and attacks Macho Man. Security and Shane O'Mac. I love the fact that Shane McMahon is the guest. Oh, sorry, I can't not mention it whenever I see him.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. We sang the epic Shane O'Mac theme last time.
Yeah, we won't do it this time.
Oh, no.
You want to do? No. Go on. Do you want to sing it?
Oh, I've got some here behind me.
It's probably that lemon juice.
Probably that lemon juice. Yeah. Here comes the money. Money talks.
Money.
No.
All right, cool. So Shane O'Mac and the security usher out Macho and Sherry out of the ring, which leaves Dusty and Brother Love as Dusty suplexes Brother Love in the ring. Mm-hmm. Dusty celebrates in the ring, and him and Sapphire dance. Mm-hmm. The crowd at this point are all on their feet. Mm-hmm. They love it.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely love it.
Everyone loves
Dusty.
Dusty.
It's great. Then we have an interview with Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Land of home and free, home of the brave, blah, 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 blah. So the next match...
sorry, Hacksaw. He might actually watch this. Sorry, Hacksaw, man.
No, it was good. It was good. It was just a gimmick. It's just not for us, man.
Meh. Right at this time it wasn't for me.
Bossman with Slick versus Hacksaw Jim Duggan is next. Mm-hmm. Nightstick and cuffs go into one corner. The 2x4 goes into the other corner. Quite a nice balance, I suppose. Hacksaw knocks Bossman out the ring with a big clothesline. Did fight for a while out the ring. Slick attacks Hacksaw with a chain outside the ring.
Still gets on my nerves, man.
Yeah, he didn't really do it for me.
He's not a great man. He was kind of like the non-plus, the kind of like he could have been there, but he couldn't have been there. Manager of the time.
Yeah.
There was a lot. Every other manager we've mentioned on this podcast, like you got Fuji, you got Hart, you got there's so many. Bobby the Brain. They're all relevant in some way, and Slick just never really had that.
No,
relevance.
but then I never really liked Frenchie Martin either, and Sapphire I didn't rate that much actually. She had an interesting storyline with DiBiase that comes up in the next few pay-per-views, but I didn't really... She didn't feel like part of the matches. Again, like Slick didn't most of the time. And even when he did interfere, it didn't feel... I mean, it was interfering here, but it didn't...
Didn't make a huge impact, no.
Again, the match quickly descended into a brawl, punches, clothesline, kicks. After the last match, it was really boring.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
Bossman loses a match due to using the nightstick, which he thought the referee was looking away from. He wasn't. Hacksaw brings in his 2x4 and hits Slick.
Yeah, and Duggan gets the W.
Gets
in the
the
books.
W. He does.
In the books, but not great. Not great.
So then we have an interview with the Rumble participants before the match, including Axe and Splash, Dino Bravo, Earthquake, Dusty Rhodes, who did a promo at this point against Savage, which we get to see a little bit of in the Rumble. The Rockers, Hercules, the model Rick Martel, Tito Santana, Jimmy Snuka, Akeem, the first Royal Rumble winner.
A little bit of a fact.
Should be.
Factoid.
The Ultimate Warrior, who even talks about Hogan not standing in his way. That was one of the better moments of the Rumble, actually.
Yeah, it was a nice moment, but still, balls out of me.
Did you notice how white Warrior's nipples were in this promo? It looked like he was lactating. I don't know if he got makeup on him or something. It was really white. Check it out. White nipple promo. Ultimate Warrior. Bang it into YouTube.
Man, you got some scary stuff.
Man, I'm watching wrestling and I was just like, and I paused it because I was ordering food at that point, and I was like, oh man, they're really white nipples. Anyway, yeah, and then more promos. Macho won't let Andre Dusty stand in his way. The Powers of Pain have a promo. Jake the Snake, Heart Foundation, Honky Tonk Man, Hulk Hogan. They're all like character profiles. These are the people that are coming up in the match. And then we move on to what we're all here for. The Royal Rumble.
Alright, so main event time. Royal Rumble 1990. The future is here. We have arrived.
How are Rumbles at this point? Let's find out. Ted DiBiase comes out.
Number one.
Didn't look happy about it, did he?
No. Money, 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 money. Skip it, pound,
Everybody's got a price.
Yeah, Coco Beware. Where the fuck's Coco Beware been?
Yeah, I know, man. We've not seen him for a while. He comes. Well, I think it was like the last Rumble we probably saw Coco actually, and he didn't do any better in that one.
Bless him. Bless his little birdie.
So he comes in and gets eliminated. What do you think about that? Do you mind that?
No. It serves to show dominance, and I guess they wanted to build Ted DiBiase as a valid.
I think there was some good points in it, like CM Punk in the Rumble, where he was getting people out and was the only person in the ring, and was he starting to cut promo some things between people coming in? Diesel had a big run of it where he was just getting people out. At the start of the match, I thought it was fine because Coco Beware weren't going to do what else in the match, let's be honest.
Rockers, Matty Jannetty was in.
Matty Jannetty, yes.
DiBiase and him had a decent back and forth.
Yeah, a lot of punches, a lot of energy. Matty Jannetty was good at that. During a high cross body from Jannetty, $1 Million Man ducks and he goes over the top ropes. Yeah. And I thought that was a nice way to get someone out.
Yeah, it was alright. It's good. So, you got Jake.
Now is Jake going to get thrown out straight away?
Well, that's it. You see, that's it. You're trying to build up these characters.
That's what you're doing, aren't you? Yeah. Who's going to be the man that stays in for the 2 minutes against DiBiase?
And obviously, you had this great rivalry that had developed over months, years at this time.
Yep.
You know, there's a lot of history between the two, which is good. Added to when Savage came out, of course, there was a lot of developing. There was, well, I think it was Future at this point, developing rivalry between Savage and Roberts, which was nice.
Yeah, well,
it was
obviously
nice to see these guys in together.
DiBiase and Macho at this point are then attacking the face, and there was some interesting face heel moments in this where it was back and forth.
Piper comes in.
So again, faces now 2v2.
Really good little tag team moments where they, you got Piper and the Snake fighting. They're ready to fight.
But what a lineup of 4 men: Roddy Piper, Jake the Snake, Macho Man, and $1 Million Man. I mean, that is a cracking brilliant. Fatal 4-way right there.
Amazing.
Both
That's
the faces
something we should do.
attacking.
We could do that, couldn't we?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, we can play that on 2K18.
Unless Piper.
No, I don't think Piper is he?
Anyway.
Both of the faces attack the heels together, and it's great. There's so much energy in it. The crowd go mental. Savage nearly eliminates Piper at one point, and the crowd actually gasps.
Yeah.
You know, you've got 4 main eventers in the ring right now, and it was great.
Amazing. You got Powers of Pain, Warlord comes in.
Was it Warlord that got eliminated in 2 seconds, or was it Barbarian?
Yeah, I think it was Barbarian.
Was it?
Yeah.
Right. I sort of wanted him to get whether it was him. I still wanted him to get eliminated and just keep them 4 men in the ring.
But it was okay. I mean, that was all right. Piper saves Roberts from elimination in quite a nice moment.
He did, yeah.
That was good. You got Bret Hart coming in at 8, attacking Warlord, going straight in.
Yeah. DiBiase and Macho Man were working a lot together.
Yeah,
as well.
It was nice.
And then Bret and Roddy were helping each other.
Yeah, that was good.
Nice, yeah.
That was okay. You got Bad News Brown coming in at 9, going straight for Bret Hart.
I had a bit of a problem at this point in that the ring was starting to look crowded.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is
you
where
have this problem a lot.
Yeah.
But that's the nature, unfortunately, of the Rumbles, and it's,
I get that.
It's not great. I mean, they need to be, they need to be cleared quicker.
Yeah.
So
Jake went for the DDT on Savage.
That was nice.
No, sorry, DDT.
DDT
on DDT, but Savage did a clothesline, which sent Jake over the top.
Which was sad for me as a fan. DiBiase went straight for Piper. Piper, got pretty good slice of the exchange, did really well. Savage saves DiBiase, like you say, they're working together again. Dusty Rhodes comes in at 10, hits Savage with the bionic elbows, building on that kind of earlier heat. Really nice moment, really nice moment. Dusty Rhodes, of course, then eventually eliminates Savage in quite a surprising moment, giving Rhodes a very credible elimination. Push,
absolutely. To get Savage out in a Rumble is a big deal.
Yeah, starts a solid.
And it continues their storyline as well, which is great.
That was really massive. You got number 11. You got Andre, of course, part of the Colossal Connection.
Comes in, throws out. So him and Haku were tag team partners at this point. Yeah. Was that what it was called, the Colossal Connection? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Warlord goes after Andre.
Warlord. Andre throws Warlord out.
Piper and Rhodes they're kind of teaming up a little bit, going after
against
Andre, which is good. Brown and DiBiase have their heel tag team thing. Red Rooster comes in at 12.
You mean KFC?
I love the Red Rooster. Shut the hell up. I love
the Red Rooster.
So he goes for Rhodes, which is odd because Red Rooster is meant to be a face at this time.
Yeah, it was weird.
I suppose it goes for everyone for themselves kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Brown goes for Piper, but gets thrown out. Comes back into the ring and dumps Piper. Dumps Piper out, starting a nice fight continues.
Yeah,
outside.
it carries right the way up the ramp as well, which is nice.
You got Axe from Demolition. Comes in at 13. Andre gets the Rooster out.
Hang on. Before that, Red Rooster, your favourite, starts attacking someone. Who does the Red Rooster go for in the Rumble?
Does he go for?
He goes for Andre the Giant. Who was going to win that?
Yeah. Well, I say Andre completely decimates the
Roosters out of there. Axe comes in then. Yeah.
So you got Axe going for Andre.
Which was interesting actually.
Yeah. It was nice.
Again, when you've got a force like Andre in the ring, it's a bit like having Braun Strowman in the ring or Big Show. People tend not to go after him. In fact, this year's Rumble had a great moment with Sami Zayn and Ty Dillinger versus Braun Strowman, didn't it? That was really good stuff, man. Really good.
Definitely. Yeah, it's a nice moment. Yes, that was good.
Yeah. Next in.
Yeah, you got.
Haku
is next in.
He is. Yes.
So that was good. I think that so Andre's currently struggling against Axe and Rhodes against elimination. Haku comes in, saves him. Yeah. Rhodes starts on with Haku. Decent little back and forth between two very talented people. 15, probably quite expectantly, you get Smash in there. So he, that's Demolition.
Who team up on Andre and Haku?
Yeah, so they start getting into it.
Did they have who won the tag team titles next? Do you know? What's top of your head?
Was it them?
I was wondering if it was Demolition or not. It could have been.
We'll check.
We'll find out.
We'll come out to it. So you got Twin Towers, Hakeem, the African Dream,
one-man gang.
I think they should have got rid of that gimmick as soon as they started bringing Rhodes in, because it's just confusing.
Yeah, exactly. Because it was there to mock Rhodes in a way.
Yeah, it was.
And Rhodes just blew it away.
Yeah,
really.
Always. And so Akeem enters 16. Rhodes eliminates Bret Hart, which is interesting.
Again, face versus face.
Yeah, Demolition go after Haku, hit the double shoulder block on Haku, which was alright.
And then go after Andre.
Yeah, that was good.
And Demolition take out Andre.
And Haku.
That's quite a massive story. Yeah, Haku not soon after. That's quite a big storyline in itself. That the Demolition by themselves were able to take out Andre.
Yeah, they make.
I thought Andre did a good job to stay in as long as he did. Actually,
yeah.
We know he won very well at the time.
No, he did okay. I mean, they make a big deal out of Ted DiBiase being in there for over 20 minutes at this point as well, which is good. But like I say, it seemed that for a bit of time that Demolition were going to kind of dominate, take everyone out, but DiBiase managed to kind of sneaky DiBiase gets out of there.
Yeah, well, there was so many near falls for DiBiase, and that's what made him great. He was so good at selling being attacked, whether it was over the top rope or not, in the same way that Michaels ended up being.
Yeah, you got Snooker.
Akira Tozawa. Superfly Akira Tozawa.
Superfly. Jimmy Snuka. Jimmy Snuka enters at 17, goes for Akeem, eliminates him, which is strong.
Yeah, it is. I had and here's where, sorry to interrupt, but I had a problem with the Rumble at this point, in that there was not enough storylines going on. For me, at this point, I thought they'd blown off maybe too much of the high-profile talent a bit too early on, and it started to drag a little bit at this point. So I just thought I'd throw that in there, man.
Fair enough. Throw that in there.
Thanks, man.
You can do that. You have the freedom.
And to make it not boring, we bring in who?
Dino Bravo's next.
Oh yeah, no, it carries on being a bit boring, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Is that what you were getting at?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Dino Bravo just doesn't do anything for me.
No.
So Bravo and Haku, they team up together, and then you've got Haku. Like I say, you got Haku and Snooker in a nice back and forth. Again, two fantastic athletes for a brief period of time, until you get the Canadian Earthquake in at 19, who comes in and dominates, takes out Rhodes, and then Axe, which is a massive thing. He's like the Strowman of the day.
Yeah, massive
almost.
Push for Earthquake. I loved Earthquake. I loved it when he jumped around the ring. It was noticeable.
Yeah, we talked about that, didn't we?
Great,
Jim Neidhart in at 20 goes straight for Earthquake, tries to eliminate him. Haku and Smash join Neidhart in trying to do that. Obviously, massively, they're playing on the fact that it's massively difficult to eliminate him.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was almost like Earthquake had taken over Andre's mantle at this point.
I think it was about the time.
That was sort of coming, wasn't it? Really.
Yeah, and then you've got this sort of turning point in the match. So DiBiase and Snooker, Snooker are kind of trying to get Earthquake happening. Then you've got the Warrior, 21.
The Warrior coming in was interesting.
Massive turning point, and obviously led to some really big stuff.
100%.
So
Ultimate Warrior needs to come in and get rid of a few people. So who does he get rid of?
Basically starts smashing, goes after Bravo, thank fuck. Rick Martel comes in. Rick Martel comes in 22.
I will say this. Sorry, I know I keep interrupting, but the one thing with the Warrior in this Royal Rumble is it almost felt, and maybe this is why they went with it for the Hulk versus Warrior match that we're coming up to at WrestleMania. It almost felt like Warrior was above face and heel. He'd attack faces, he'd attack heels.
This led to Hogan also had that.
Yeah. Oh, did he?
I think so.
I don't think he did as much as Warrior.
No, perhaps not.
For me, what I'm sort of saying is I think Warrior was more about energy than it was about face. And so there was a lot of times he was attacking faces in that ring, and nobody was booing because they just liked Warrior's energy. You know what I mean? Yeah. Sorry, carry on. Rick Martel.
No, it was good. Yeah, so Rick Martel comes in doing his model thing that only he can do. Haku gets smash out. Meanwhile, Neidhart tries to go after Martel, which was okay, decent back and forth. Like I say, Martel has this nice little sneaky moment where he goes under the apron, which was fine. He slides into the ring from the apron, which is cool. Tito comes in, starts building that, again, that rivalry, which Tito is kind of a constant. Tito Martel, the former tag team partners, that was really nice. They were good. They were good together. They work really well together. Martel goes after Santana. That was good. Nice.
I think my problem with these two in this match is I wish they'd give them a little bit more space, a little bit more time.
But that was,
in a Royal Rumble, when you've got so many people in, you need to give people space to have them fights and have their moments. When Tito come in, they were fighting with Rick Martel, but there wasn't actually anything big happening. I wanted to see
fans didn't have the time.
moves.
They didn't have the time to acknowledge it and kind of give it the space it needed. Right, space is a good word. They didn't get a chance to give it the enthusiasm that it needed. Honky Tonk Man comes in, number 24. Martel gets Neidhart out, which is nice with the Warrior. You're right.
I'd say it was the Warrior. It ended up being the Warrior that ended up with his hands on him at the end.
So Warrior and DiBiase have a nice back and forth. And then
Warrior takes him out with a clothesline. Because he was in there for a long time.
Yeah,
I mean, we're at 24 now, and he was in number 1. Did he break the record then?
Yeah, he broke the record, 44 minutes 47.
Great, rock and roll.
Okay, and blah 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 blah.
The crowd went mental at that point as well. The crowd, like Neidhart, the crowd didn't really react as soon as DiBiase was out. They'd all wanted to see him go out.
Totally.
That was great.
It was nice. It was a nice build. 25. Just Hulk Hogan. You know what I mean?
Who?
Just Hulk Hogan.
Who?
Yeah, you don't know, bro.
Was he in the NWO or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Cool.
25 is Hogan. Basically has another like Warrior type thing where he comes in, gets Snooker out, which is really
Again,
sad.
A face, but not just a face. His old partner at WrestleMania 1.
That's right, Snooker. And then Haku, Santana and Martel still going back and forth. Warrior gets Warrior goes after Santana. Honky goes after Hogan.
Yeah, Honky was using Hogan's t-shirt to strangle him, which I thought was a nice moment actually, because Hogan didn't rip off his t-shirt straight away. He came in the match, got a few people out, and then ripped it off. Nice, was good. Nice gimmick.
Shawn Michaels, 26.
The Rocker.
Nice prelude to his Rumble success, his future Rumble success. Even though
not really, because he didn't.
He gets flowing straight, but it's nice to see him in the Rumble at such a late stage.
Yeah, but
he gets eliminated almost immediately by the Warrior.
Yeah.
Warrior also goes up, deletes Martel, deletes Martel, which is again a good showing for Martel actually on the whole.
So this is one of the biggest moments of the pay-per-view.
I bolded this in my notes because obviously it's massive. You have Warrior and Hogan, and so Hogan's here. Warrior's here. They're both getting riled up. They're both doing their Warrior does his power up thing, and Hogan does his power up thing, and
Well, they start like pushing each other.
Faces, doing all this. Sorry, I was like fucking going for it, getting in the mood.
You're so angry.
Just man, it's the kind of day I've had. Right, but anyway, so you're getting in each other's faces. It's fucking everybody's. There's loads of build up. Fans are loving it. Fans are loving it.
They're running into the ropes and just bouncing off each other. They have no offense. So
it's the irremovable. It's the immovable object versus the irresistible force.
Yeah.
And that whole thing they're playing on. Then they do the crisscross weird thing, and then they clothesline each other down. It's all right. Out. Barbarian at 27 to break
and
up
takes
the tension.
Advantage of the two on the floor.
Goes after Hogan. Which is okay. Rude comes in at 28, and at this point I thought, because I couldn't remember that Hogan won it, I thought Rude was the clear winner. I thought he was gonna do that. He was gonna be clever, and I thought he was gonna win it.
So just a quick note: Ravishing Rick Rude came in before the countdown timer as well.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they played on that later on. Probably did.
Yeah.
But they did acknowledge it, and he went after Warrior straight away.
Yeah, massive. Yeah.
I think the problem was, although Rick and Warrior had the Intercontinental title feud, people just wanted to see that moment of Warrior and Hogan again, and I think that the match maybe suffered for that.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that at the end though. So Hogan wakes up Rude as Barbarian are pushing Warrior. So Hogan wakes up as Rude and Barbarian are both going after the Warrior.
Yeah.
Hogan sort of goes behind them and attacks all three of them. Them two look like they might have supposed to have gone out, but they sort of didn't have enough momentum behind them. But Warrior is eliminated, so it's due to Hogan's actions that Warrior is eliminated at that point. Yeah,
no, absolutely, and Warrior doesn't know that he goes for the other two. He comes back in and
he does,
and then just runs out in true crazy Warrior fashion. That
and clotheslines Bobby Heenan.
That was a weird moment, but fun, but quite funny. So that happens, and Hercules comes in 29, teams with Hogan to battle Barbarian and Rude. And then you got the last entrant, number 30, the perfect entrance from Mr. Perfect, who goes after Hogan.
He did, yes.
So you got Hogan, Rude, Barbarian, Hercules, and Perfect. Final 5, not too bad. There was a nice little moment between Barbarian and Rude in terms of miscommunication, which Hercules took advantage of, took out Barbarian.
Barbarian out, yeah.
Hercules looks pretty strong for a moment here. Hogan, Rude, Hercules, and Perfect. The final 4, decent enough. Hercules eliminated by Rude.
He was.
And then you got.
So you had 2 heels against Hogan, basically.
And you got Hogan, Rude, and Perfect. Rude and Perfect obviously double team. Perfect held Hogan for a Rude forearm, but then Hogan ducked. Perfect was sent out to the apron. It was a nice little moment here. A little bit, again, a little bit. Oh, is he going out? Is he not going out? Kind of thing. So Hogan Irish whips Rude. Into Perfect as Perfect was pulling him back up.
So Perfect was pulling himself up. Rude then, obviously, because the rope's been pulled down, goes over the rope.
Which was a nice little.
Yeah, I like that. I like stuff like that.
And
I don't think that can be easy to do actually as well, to get the timing right.
Yeah, massively done. Nice bit of booking. Like I say, so Rude and Perfect have this kind of tension which you wouldn't expect, which was odd. And then Rude takes his time to go backstage, but eventually does. I wasn't the biggest fan of this as an ending, and again, it probably goes into my not being a great fan of Hogan in general. So decent back and forth until Mr. Perfect manages to hit the perfect plex, and Hogan just sells it, does the normal thing. At this point in time, Mr. Perfect is he's like the Seth Rollins of the time. He was he's the guy that you should have been protecting.
He was a good worker.
He's the
exactly.
guy.
I agree.
They should have protected, and they did, I suppose. But against Hogan,
it was Hogan.
Yeah. So
Hogan, I tell you what, modern day, they protected Hogan as much as they're protecting Brock Lesnar at the minute.
Reigns, more so.
No, because Reigns lost a couple of matches to Strowman.
No,
Brock loses nothing.
Yeah, Brock's also part-time.
Yeah, well...
But anyway, so you get... Yeah, no, you get... So basically, he gets up, does the Hulk out thing, connects with the clotheslines and goes and throws Perfect over.
Yep.
That's the end of that. Hogan wins the match. I'm not really a big fan of the end. I don't think... like I said, I know they didn't have the stipulation about the WrestleMania thing, which makes the whole thing much more exciting for people, because you could tell... Even though I wanted Rude to win, I thought Rude was going to win at that time, you could tell Hogan was going to win it. Because
I think, to an extent, it was potentially Hogan's time to win it. Hogan was a massive star, and he hasn't won the last 2.
No, I suppose.
From that point of view, at some point, Hogan has to win the Rumble.
I'm so excited about being in the 90s, man. I'm sorry, but Hogan just does not do.
Oh, you've got a lot more of Hogan to come.
Yeah, I know, a few more years, but
you wait till WrestleMania 9.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, so
it's Yokozuna that officially hails the end of Hulkamania in the WWE. So let's bring Yoko. Let's do it.
Let's bring Yoko in and get it done.
Let's get it done. Get it done.
So Hulk takes a sign from the crowd. Hulkamania will live forever sign. Yeah. My problem with it, I don't actually think Perfect should have been the last person. I think it should have been back to... I think if you'd had Hogan and Warrior have that moment and then another moment at the end of the match, that would have been pretty epic.
Yeah, man.
And a more exciting ending for the crowd and everything. I think WWF were testing the waters for the face versus beyond face, I suppose, as I sort of explained earlier. Then that's not something they do very often. There's not many matches where both people are faces.
No.
Like, even in WrestleManias these days, you just don't see it.
No.
Even like the one that they tried to do was sort of Goldberg versus Brock, but even that, Brock ended up becoming the sort of heel by default, really. Yeah. Warrior and Hogan, there was no heel. You had a split crowd of people that were Warrior fans and people that were Hulk fans, and that's a fascinating direction in terms of both the history of the WWF and the only sort of the comparable stuff really is maybe Undertaker with Shawn Michaels and Rock and Stone Cold,
Rock
maybe.
and Stone Cold.
But
that's
I mean,
and Cena Reigns, because that was people liked seeing it. It did split people. It did split people. You had Reigns fans, identifiable Reigns fans that hated Cena and had always hated Cena.
You have what fans?
It does happen.
No,
you have identifiable Reigns fans that hate Cena.
I get what you're saying.
And there's reasons for people to hate Cena.
But I wouldn't say that's on the same level.
I would.
I'd say there's still people that will boo. Okay.
It is.
But the problem with heels, Cena and Reigns, is that they both get booed.
Yes, but then you have to have an identifiable favourite in a match like that, and people clearly went for... So half people went for Cena and half people went for Reigns.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, no, okay, I see what you're saying. But these matches that we're talking about are massive matches. Mm-hmm. All of these face versus face matches are massive, and like I say, they were testing the water with it, and they took a massive risk. I think at WrestleMania 6. Is it 6 or 7 next?
6.
6, I think. Yeah, massive risk, and it really paid off. I just wish we'd seen a little bit more of that in the Rumble.
Yeah.
A bit like you said, you want the Rumble to have more stakes at this point.
100%. It's boring otherwise. So solid 2 out of 5 for me.
Best match of the night? Really, 2 out of 5?
Yeah.
No, I'm giving it 1.5 gear stars. I thought it was crap. I thought the Rumble had some okay moments. The part where there was 4 of them in the ring was really nice.
Yeah.
The part with Hogan and Warrior was really nice. And the Garvin versus Hammer match, seriously, go back and watch it.
Yeah.
Match of the night,
solid match.
Easy.
100%.
But everything else was just too brawly and not enough wrestling.
Chaos.
It was chaos, yeah.
Proper nice technical work from. Let's give it up for rugged Ronnie Garvin for pulling out a good one.
Fantastic, man.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Nice.
Is he still alive?
And Greg Valentine. We looked at him. I'll have to check back on our notes, but we
should tweet him and tell him how impressive that was.
That was a solid match.
Really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Hats off, well done, and well done to Garvin, well done to Garvin and Valentine.
And Hammer, yeah, brilliant work.
Yeah, the rest of it was kind of bollocks, but anyway.
Yeah.
So, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on all our social media platforms. We need you really, really badly. We like you. We like what you do for us. We like what you do to us, and we want more of it. So please like, please comment, please subscribe, and don't forget to keep it gay.